It's time for This Week in History, trivia styled, with your host, T-Bone, from the Lunsby Show with T-Bone and Chick Room. Question number one. I ask the questions, you provide the answers. Short of you giving me an answer, I will then give you some clues. I do not know the answers of the questions I'm about to offer. I am guessing along with you. Let's see if we can do it right. Now, question number one. What event occurred on July 7th, today, in 1456? Holy cow. That's going back a bit. July 7th, 1456, which is a fun number because it's 1456. July 7th, 1456. What significant event occurred? I'm not going to talk bad about AI because I got James for that. But he told me to stop using AI and to create these questions for myself. Screw you, James. You make these questions, and we'll use the questions you make. I have nobody answering currently on what event occurred on July 7th, 1456. Here are some options for you to choose from. Was it the signing of the Treaty of Utrecht, which I've never heard of? And if it occurred 500 years ago, I really don't care. I wouldn't care. Unless the signing of the Treaty of Utrecht had some kind of significant impact on my life, I wouldn't care. Was it the Battle of Hubbardton? There's no way that's not a British word. Hubbardton. Was it Joan of Arc's acquittal of heresy? Was she acquitted of heresy? I'm pretty sure she paid a penalty for whatever she was convicted of. Robert's got a great answer. He believes Ezekiel grabbed 9 kids from the Amish auction. And to be correct there, no, because this is 1456. We didn't even know there was another side of the world in 1456. The Amish had not made their great migration to the New World in 1456 because we didn't know it existed. Last option. So you got the Treaty of Utrecht, the Battle of Hubbardton, Joan of Arc's acquittal of heresy, or finally, the introduction of chocolate to Europe. Interesting. I don't know why, but I'm going to go with none of these are easy. AI, you're supposed to be easy. I'm going to go with Joan of Arc. You know, when in doubt, Charlie out, right? I'm going with option C, Joan of Arc's acquittal of heresy. What are your answers, please? Leave them in the comments because all I've got over there is some jokes. Shut up, David. Wow, man, AI really went all the way back. Here we go. What explorer engaged in the first known trade between Europeans and natives of the Gulf of St. Lawrence on July 7th, 1534. 1534, going all the way back. Got some familiar names here for you to choose from. Of course, option number one is Christopher Columbus. Was it him? Was he here trading with the natives in the Gulf of St. Lawrence? Was it Jacques Cartier? Possibly. I don't know the answer to these questions, but it could have been Jacques Cartier. Was it Ferdinand Magellan? Oh, man, I got a bunch of things happening with my internet. It's not making me happy, but I'm doing my best to keep a smile on my face. I do not recommend Verizon. Or was it Hernan Cortés? Those are your options. Christopher Columbus, Jacques Cartier, Ferdinand Magellan, or Hernan Cortés. Who do you think was doing trading with the natives in the Gulf of St. Lawrence on July 7th, 1534? Robert chooses to go with chocolate. David decides to go with Joan of Arc in our previous questions. So David's with me. He charlied out. Robert goes with chocolate. We'll find out the answer in 5 more questions. For this, I'm going to guess who did trading with the Europeans and the natives in the Gulf of St. Lawrence on July 7th, 1534. I don't believe it was Christopher Columbus because, 1482, that was a long time ago. I'm going to go with Cartier because the Gulf of St. Lawrence and the province of Quebec are right there together with one another. And Magellan was Portuguese and Cortez was none of them. I'm going with Cartier. That's my guess. Let me know your guess in the comments when it gets around to you. Question number 3 out of 7. On July 5th, 1550. Wow, these are really far back. On July 7th, 1550, what food item is thought to have been introduced to Europe from the Americas? It's 1515. We've been colonizing the Americas for 70 years at this point. What food item on July 7th, 1550 is brought back to Europe from the Americas? Is it coffee? Did we not find out about coffee until July 7th, 1550? David answers D on the previous question. Previous question was Cortez. Okay. He didn't Charlie out. Was it tea? Was it chocolate or vanilla? Coffee, tea, chocolate, or vanilla, one of those came back to Europe for the first time in 1550. Through my reasoning, through my ability of deduction, Jack Sparrow loses the Black Pearl to Captain Barbossa. That's funny. Just random stuff you're just throwing out there, not even trying. Okay, I got you. No, it's funny, hilarious. It isn't coffee. They were making coffee in Africa long before we found out the Americas even existed. It wasn't tea. We had all the tea in China long before we knew there was an Americas. Is it chocolate? Possibly. Cartier. I see your answer, Cartier. Going with me again. David's sticking with me. Or was it vanilla? I say 50-50 chance. You got chocolate, you got vanilla. It is amazing that we may have stolen chocolate from the Americas, brought it back to Europe, and made it phenomenal once it got there. I'm going with chocolate. That's my answer. Again, when in doubt, Charlie out. Question number 4. Which French emperor met with Russian Tsar Alexander I on a raft in the middle of the Niemen River to sign the first Treaty of Tilsit on July 7th, 1807? I asked for easy questions. None of these are even in the 21st century. But it's This Week in History. Robert goes with vanilla. Russian Tsar Alexander I on the raft in the middle of the Niemen River to sign the first Treaty of Tilsit on July 7th, 1807. Which French emperor? Was it Napoleon Bonaparte? Was it Louis XIV? Charlemagne, not the god, stupid name, or Louis XVI? Well, nobody knows nothing about Louis XIV. Nobody knows Louis XIV. David is also going with vanilla. Everybody knows Louis XVI. Everybody knows Charlemagne, but not for the right reasons. So if you were to narrow it down, it's going to be between Louis XVI and Napoleon Bonaparte. 1807, I believe, is more Bonaparte time frame than Louis XVI time frame. Me, T-Bone, my answer, Bonaparte. That's who I'm going with. We'll find out if I'm correct in just a few more questions. What significant decision did the U.S. Congress make on July 7th, 1798, during the, and this should always be in quotes, during the quasi-war. Yeah, because it's not really a war, it's a quasi-war. What significant decision did the U.S. Congress make on July 7th? So I asked for This Week in History for AI. Again, remember, you are training your future robot overlords. In the future, when the robots take over and they start murdering us all, they will add the tagline, "This is because of T-Bone." Murder! This is because of T-Bone. Murder! Because I keep training AI on how bad it is at doing AI stuff. I asked for questions that ended in the week of, during the week of July 7th. And every one of these questions, which are extremely hard questions, is from July 7th. David says chocolate was present during the era of Braveheart. Okay, then I guess that's not your answer. I don't care. Don't fact check me. Don't get on the Google box and find out things you didn't know jack shit about 10 seconds ago. Sorry. What significant decision did the U.S. Congress make on July 7th, 1798 during the quasi-war? Was it rescinding treaties with France, declaring war on Britain, ratifying the Bill of Rights, or establishing the Department of State? In the infancy of our country, I don't believe establishing the Department of State was high on the agenda of things to do. But 1798, those boys are going to start breaking some things. The Founding Fathers, they got together and created an act of treason that set us all free on July the 4th, 1776. Now, we're talking 22 years later. What are they going to do? Are they going to declare war on Britain? I think they did that already. He's going with Louis XVI. I see your answer. I think they did that already. I think we had already gone to war with Britain. I doubt they were ratifying the Bill of Rights in 1798, although it did take us a while to get a constitution, but I don't think it took us 22 years. T-Bone, choose rescinding any treaties we may have had with France. That's what I'm choosing. No more France for you. All right, question number 6 and 7. Question number 6. What national heroine? Oh, come on. You know, when I would teach sailors about how to take a Navy-wide advancement exam, I would say this: take the exam 4 times. One time, just read the entire exam. Just read it. Read the question, read your answers, just read it. Because you'll find sometimes the questions answer themselves in future questions. Right? That's what I would say. The first and then the second time you take the test, just do everything you know as quickly as possible. I mean, if you know it immediately, just answer it. Just answer it. The third time, go back to see all the ones that you missed and take a little decision time and make a proper decision. And the fourth time, you go back and you just make sure you answered all the questions. David says Louis XIV is where the song Louis Louis came from. But why couldn't it have been any of the other 13? More appropriately, Louis II. Louis Louis. Durr. What national heroine was acquitted of heresy on July 7th, 1456? Sound familiar? Here are your options. Boudicca, I like her name, Cleopatra, Joan of Arc, or Queen Elizabeth I. I think this question answers a previous question. We'll find out if I'm right soon. Robert's going with the Bill of Rights. Yes, my internet does suck. Have you not been paying attention at all? Final question on the Sunday Supplemental with T-Bone, the co-host of the Linsby Show with T-Bone and Chick Brew. Catch us weekly anywhere fine podcasts are sold. The final question for this is, on July 7th, 1753, what significant grant did the British Parliament make? What significant grant did the British Parliament make on July 7th, 1753? All of these start with granting, so I'm not going to read granting 4 times. Was it Jews, citizenship, Jews, I love when people bust my chops for saying Jews, because I'm usually referring something of the orange persuasion. Was it granting independence to India, granting land to the American colonist, or religious freedom to the Puritans? It's 1753. So we know a new world exists. We've been living there for a while, but we haven't demanded our own freedom yet. Did the British Parliament in 1753 grant Jew citizenship, Jews, independence to India? No, it is not independence to India, clearly. I've seen footage of Mahatma Gandhi. I've seen him, pictures of him, video of him. He was a real person. Technology was not available in 1753. So it's not independence to India. Land to American colonists, well, if they had done that, we probably wouldn't have taken up arms against them a few years later. Religious freedom to Puritans, they wouldn't have left if there was religious freedom. I'm going to go with giving Jews citizenship because I like my Jews. I have said this since October 7th of 2023. All of my Jew friends are amazing people. I love my Jew friends. So I don't know why there's so much hatred against them. Did they get citizenship in 1753? No lo so. Yo no sé. We'll find out soon. All right, David goes with granting land to colonists, but we've already found out that David's been cheating using the Google box, cheater. And Robert, he's going with religious freedom. So we got the boys, old Robert and David playing along today. Let's find out together what the answers are. Question number 1, the answer was Joan of Arc. We found that out later. No surprise there. Question number 2 was Jarquez Cartier. Quebec. I figured that one out. Question number 3 was a chocolate. So screw you, Dave. It was chocolate. Question number 4, Napoleon Bonaparte. I'm killing it at this point. Question number 5, no more treaties with the France. I think I chose the wrong one there. I did, didn't I? Question number 5, what were my options? No, I chose that. I chose rescinding treaties with France. I'm still batting 1,000 right now. Question number 6, we know, Joan of Arc. And question number 7, woo! Giving Jews citizenship. I rocked it this week. 100% correct. You two, not so much. So thanks for bearing with me. I apologize that my internet from Verizon sucks balls. In case you didn't catch that. Sorry. And I may have used some choice language today. I don't normally do that, so I apologize for that too. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.